Clash Royale hasn't felt the same since June 2023. That's when Supercell introduced one of the most controversial updates in the game's history: card evolutions. At first glance, it seemed like a clever mechanic to get veterans playing again. Take a familiar card, give it a flashy rework, and let players unlock its evolved form using special shards. But what no one expected was the sheer strength and impact each evolved card would bring to the table. For the same elixir cost, you now had access to a version of the card with entirely new effects and mechanics. Some added splash damage, others introduced status effects no one was prepared for, and this was just the beginning. Every month or so, new evolutions were added to the game. As the list grew longer, players knew this was the new era of Clash. Card evolutions, or Evos, are a core mechanic that allows certain cards to temporarily transform into a more powerful version. The first evolution slot is unlocked at King level 7, and a second becomes available at King level 30. When you place an evolution-enabled card into your deck's Evo slot, every third or second time you cycle that card in a match, it will deploy in its evolved form. To unlock evolutions, players need to collect 6 evolution shards for a specific card, which can be acquired through events, Pass Royale, lucky drops, or shop offers. Each evolution comes with a unique ability or stat change that fundamentally alters how the card functions. For instance, evolved skeletons replicate on each hit until there are 8 of them on the battlefield, evolved bomber tanked arrows, and bounces bomb 3-tiled. These evolutions are not simply upgrades, they are completely new tools that change how players build decks and approach matchups. What began with just 4 cards now includes over 30, ranging from common units like archers and knights to legendaries like lumberjack and inferno dragon. This consistent expansion has made evolutions one of the most influential systems in the game. Whether players love them or hate them, their presence in the meta is impossible to ignore. Trying to sleep around your roommate playing Clash Royale at 3 AM is also hard to ignore.
Evolve Baba! Hands in the air for Evolve Baba!
Luckily, today's video is sponsored by Manta Sleep, makers of the world's best sleep masks. Unlike cheaper masks that leak light and squeeze your eyes, Manta's masks are built for total blackout and zero pressure, even if you sleep on your side. They're designed to block out distractions, whether it's bright lights, late night ladder climbing, or the sound of your roommate getting 3-crowned. That's because Manta even offers masks with built-in audio, so you can fall asleep to calming sounds, not tower explosions. If you're serious about sleep, check out Manta Sleep in the first link of the description and use my code DISCO for 10% off any of your purchases. Now back to the video. When evolutions were first announced, the community was buzzing. The concept felt fresh. Finally, a mechanic that gave old, forgotten cards a second chance at relevance. Players imagined new strategies, creative decks, and a way to break free from the repetitive meta. The early designs like evolved barbarians and skeletons were praised for being simple yet impactful, but that honeymoon phase didn't last long. As more evolutions were added, issues began to surface. Players noticed how heavily the game started revolving around Evo cards. Those without access to them felt outclassed, and those trying to compete in global tournaments or ladder found themselves forced into using the same few evolved cards just to stay viable. What started as a cool side feature quickly spiraled into a requirement, leading players to believe evolution has been Clash Royale's biggest mistake. At its heart, Clash Royale is a game of tight elixir management and reactive decision making. Every card cycle, every one elixir troop, and every timing window matters, especially in high level play. But evolutions quietly broke that balance. The core mechanic behind them, cycling a card 2 or 3 times to unlock a powered up version, introduced a gameplay rhythm that Clash Royale has never seen. Suddenly, players were incentivized to spam their evolved cards as fast as possible, not to manage elixir efficiently or control the board. On paper, the evolution cycle system sounds fair. Play the cards a few times, then get the upgraded version. But in practice, it creates distorted incentives. Players run cheap, low impact cards just to rotate faster to the evolved version. And because these evolutions often come with massive stat boosts or abilities, it means whoever triggers their evolution first usually gains a disproportionate advantage. And with every Evo added, the issue compounds. More cycle abuse, more forced interactions, and more deviation from Clash Royale's core identity. What was once a game of patience and counterplay is now a race to the next purple power drop. Some players argue that champions also boosted fast cycling strategies and became a forced inclusion in nearly every competitive deck. And yes, to some extent, that's true. Champions did benefit decks that would ideally have a 3-cycle deck rather than 4, but they never single-handedly carried any deck with their inclusion if you just cycled as fast as you could. You could only include one per deck, their abilities required precise timing, and they created new layers of strategic depth. Whether it was using the Archer Queen's ability to dodge a spell or triggering the Skeleton King just before a swarm died, champions rewarded good decision making. You had to think ahead. Evolutions are quite the opposite. They're automated. Once you cycle the base card enough times, you drop the evolved version, no timing, no activation, no real risk. The value is guaranteed, whether it fits the current play or not. Evolutions don't reward smart play. They reward fast cycling and spam. Champions added complexity to the meta. Evolutions practically removed it. There's no micro adjustment, no trade-off, just raw stat boost and free abilities. As one player puts it, everything champions did right, evolutions did wrong. This, of course, meant that with every new evolution card released, the balance of Clash Royale gets completely thrown off. We're not talking about slight win rate shifts or niche counter plays, we're talking about entire deck archetypes becoming irrelevant. Meanwhile, fast cycle decks, already powerful, are now supercharged by low cost cards that evolve into win conditions. This isn't theoretical, it's everywhere. The evolution skeletons, despite being only 1 elixir, can be 3-crowned if left unchecked. They offer so much value that if the opponent lacks a direct spell counter, the match is practically over. And the worst part is that you need evolutions to even survive in this economy. Facing an evolution deck while having none feels like fighting with a 3-level disadvantage. You can play perfectly, but unless your opponent misplays hard, it often doesn't matter. Evolutions are so overloaded with power and utility that they don't just supplement a deck, they carry it. This has created a meta where only certain deck types thrive, and where strategy is replaced by spam. There's no incentive to try off-meta ideas or clever tech cards, because if it's not evolved, it's outdated. And when you factor in the cost of evolutions, you start to realize that Clash Royale didn't just break the game, they broke trust. The entire feature is designed around monetization first, balance second. Each new evolution isn't just strong, it's blatantly overpowered on release. Why? Because the stronger it is, the more players will rush to buy shards, passes, or bundles just to unlock it first. For casual players, this creates a devastating gap. You log in, queue a match, and instantly get demolished by an evolved skeleton that deletes your entire push for 1 elixir. It's not just frustrating, it's demoralizing. Evolutions have created a system where competitive edge is gated behind a paywall. If you don't pay, you fall behind. And if you're a casual player trying to enjoy the game on your terms, you're either stuck grinding for weeks for a single evolution or simply giving up after facing evolution spam for the 10th time in a row. Clash Royale just nerfed progression in the new updates and took out level caps, making ranked an absolute mosh pit. Clash Royale was once a game where knowledge, timing, and clever card placement could beat any wallet. Now the message is clear: spend or surrender. And with each season introducing a new broken evolution, that gap only grows wider. Every match feels like a gamble. Every card could be the next super weapon, and somehow, despite all the backlash, people keep playing. Because chaos in its own twisted way is exciting. Maybe that's the point. Maybe Supercell knows exactly what they're doing, creating a cycle of hype, frustration, and power that keeps players emotionally invested. Whether they love it or hate it, evolutions have made the game messier, louder, and more controversial than ever. But they've also kept it relevant. Clash Royale isn't the game it used to be. It's faster, it's flashier, it's broken, but it's alive. And maybe, just maybe, that's enough.